There once was a man named Yashir who made a living sharpening knives. He wasn't a blacksmith, nor did he own a big shop, just a cart with wheels, a grinding stone that spun with a squeaky pedal, and a small bell he rang while walking down dusty village streets. Knives sharpened, blades made new, he'd call day after day, with the same worn-out shoes and hopeful voice. But times had changed. The new market brought in machines, sleek, quick, noiseless. One by one, people stopped coming to Yashir. Too slow, they said, too old-fashioned. Even his son Amin begged him to quit. You're wasting your breath, Baba. No one wants this anymore. No one wants you walking these roads for nothing. Yashir would only smile, his eyes soft but steady. Maybe today, he'd say, one knife will need me. Days passed, then weeks. He'd go home with sore legs, cracked heels, and hands that smelled of steel. Some days not a single customer stopped him. He still rang his bell. One rainy afternoon, as the sky cracked open, Yashir took shelter beneath a mango tree. A young woman was crouched there too, covering a small bundle with her shawl. "It's my kitchen knife," she said, noticing the cart. "I dropped it on the floor. No one fixes these anymore." Yashir didn't speak. He simply reached out his hand, took the blade, placed it gently on the spinning stone, and began to pedal. Rain poured. The stone hissed. Sparks flew in the dim light. When he handed the knife back, it shone like silver. The woman stared at it. "You fixed it better than the shop." Yashir nodded once. "I do one thing, but I do it right." The next day, she told her neighbor. The neighbor told a cook. The cook told a butcher. Within a week, Yashir's bell rang to a line of people waiting with dull blades and tired eyes. They no longer wanted speed. They wanted hands. They wanted care. One evening, Amin walked past the cart, now surrounded by customers. He stood quietly for a moment, watching his father's foot gently press the pedal, his fingers steady even after years of being ignored. When the crowd thinned, Amin stepped forward, holding a blunt pocket knife he hadn't used in years. "Can you fix this too, Baba?" Yashir looked up, smiled, and said, "Maybe today, one son will need me." Never give up, especially when your hands still remember how to make something sharp again. Vocabulary list. Cart, a small-wheeled vehicle used to carry things. Example, I bought fresh vegetables from a vendor's cart near the market. Grinding stone, a stone used to sharpen metal tools by grinding. Example, the old gardener used a grinding stone to sharpen his shears. Squeaky, making a high-pitched sound. Example, the old chair made a squeaky noise whenever I sat on it. Worn out, very old, and used so much that it's damaged or no longer useful. Example, his worn-out shoes had holes in the soles. Hopeful, feeling positive, or expecting something good to happen. Example, she was hopeful that the interview went well. Noiseless, silent, or making very little sound. Example, the snow fell in a noiseless blanket across the street. Ignored, not given attention or recognition. Example, he felt ignored when nobody responded to his question. Crouched, to sit low to the ground by bending the knees. Example, the cat crouched behind the curtain, ready to pounce. Hissed, made a sharp sss sound. Example, the hot pan hissed when the water touched it. Steady, firm, controlled, and not shaking. Example, her hands were steady as she poured tea, dull, not sharp or lacking brightness or excitement. Example, the pencil was too dull to write clearly. Blunt, having a rounded or flat edge, not sharp. Example, this knife is too blunt to cut tomatoes. Bundle, a group of things wrapped or tied together. Example, she carried a bundle of clothes to donate. Pedal, a foot-operated part that powers a machine or vehicle. Example, you must pedal harder to make the bicycle move uphill. Vendor, someone who sells goods in public, especially in the street. Example, the ice cream vendor rang his bell on hot afternoons. Want more stories like this? Click the video on the screen for another powerful story.